gentlemen, please welcome onto stage your host and compere for this evening, Mr. Duncan Logan! Hello, good evening and welcome. My name is indeed Duncan Logan and I'm your host and compere for this evening. And welcome to Lockdown and Online, here recorded live from my log cabin here in the centre of Birmingham. It's really great to have you with us. And for those of you who joined us for the first time, welcome. For those who were here last week, wasn't it a great night last week?
Yeah.
Wasn't it a great night? Yeah. It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And we at Kingdom Comedy, we organise comedy nights all around the country, in pubs, clubs, PTAs, churches, all over the place. And as you know, as I mentioned last week, a lot of our forthcoming gigs have been cancelled. Oh yes. But never fear. Just because you can't come to one of our nights, it doesn't mean that we can't bring one of our nights to you. And that's what we're doing this evening. And we've got 3 more fantastic headline quality acts. You're in for a real treat. And to make it as much like a comedy night as we can, we've even got ourselves an audience.
Yay!
Now, they are our resident audience because they are all residents in my house. And we are really pleased to have them. We've got my wife Jackie with us. Hi. We've got Hannah. We've got Abigail.
Yay!
And our lodger Alex. Now, but sadly, Alex, you might not be with us next week.
I should be.
You should be. Right, because you were thinking of heading back to the Isle of Wight.
I don't think about that.
Right. No, you're probably not. Your dad can't use the excuse that he's taking you to the beach. Can he for that one? That's a bit of a trek, I think. But it's great. It'd be great if you're here next week as well. And we have 3 amazing acts this evening. We have, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, Mr. Scott Bennett. Ladies and gentlemen, absolutely brilliant. Now, Scott Bennett, we haven't booked him before, but he's done some amazing stuff online. He's a headline quality act. And I'm really excited to see what he's brought to us. And then we've also got Mr. Tony Vino, ladies and gentlemen. Good friend of mine, Tony Vino. We're really thrilled to have him. And finally, Mr. Noel James, we've got on the I know. And my niece Christina was particularly excited because she lives in Wales. She does. She lives in Wales. Very excited about having Noel.
Dad.
Yes, sweetheart.
Why are you wearing sandals with socks?
Why am I wearing sandals with socks? That's a very good question.
No, seriously, why are you wearing sandals with socks?
Well, because I was popping out. I was just doing a pop out. Okay, if it was a longer journey, I wouldn't have done it. But it takes a lot for me now to bend down and take my socks off. Right, so I just and do you know what? I found out. You can actually wear socks with flip flops. And you can wear socks with flip flops. You're thinking, no, you can't, Duncan, because how is your toe gonna? It's amazing. The sock just moves backwards. And it's really, I don't know why I'm telling you that. It's a little bit embarrassing. But anyway, socks. So for all of you out there, whether you're wearing socks with sandals, and I think it's okay to wear socks with sandals as long as you don't pull the socks up, right, over your knees. Right, then I think it looks all right then. Anyway, so we're here with my family. For all of you, also for you out there, and because we're fortunate because we're key workers. We can send our kids out to school, but a couple of days a week the kids are at home with us, and it's made me really realise that those people that homeschool their kids, it's made me realise you're mad, you are insane. Why would you choose to teach your kids? Why would you choose? You're mad. You know what? And I bet we're going to get complaints from people who homeschool. And do you know why? Because they're irritable. Because they're spending all their time with their kids and they're overtired. That's the problem. But no, because in the mornings you have to have a routine, don't we, Jack? We've got a little routine. We have Joe Wicks. First thing, we have Joe Wicks in the morning, and then later on it's John Wicks when they start fighting. That's the John Wicks starts happening in our household. But you've got to have your routine. You've got to have your routine tonight. Oh, I meant to say because I was going to have a little chat, Jack. Because what's it been this week, Jack, for us? It's been National Nurses Day. National Nurses Day. It's a big round of applause for Mum. She's a nurse. And me, because I'm a mental health nurse by background. Mental health is great. The nurses, big shout. See, I get children's nurses. I get mental health nurses, and I get adult nurses. I don't get midwives. Why would you choose to watch that for a living? Why would you watch that for a living? It's hard. Oh, it's hard. You know what? I've actually got, it's true, isn't it? I've got a birth phobia, haven't I? I've got a birth phobia. And so when Jackie, the proper birth phobia. Apparently, my mum nearly died. I nearly died. My birth phobia is that bad. I can't even push my head through a roller neck jumper. Right? I can't do it. No, seriously, I can't do it. And so when Jackie, you remember this? She said she sat me down on the couch and said, "True girls," and she said, "I just want to tell you, I'm pregnant." And I said to Jackie, I said, "Look, I don't think I can be there at the birth." You know what she said? She said, "You were there at the conception. You will be there at the birth." And I said, "I'm going to second here. You were with me when I brought the lawnmower from B&Q. Hey, one rule for one, I think. One rule for one. But it's all right. It's all right for those of you who do. It's great. They're great because when you go into the room, they've got gas. It's amazing stuff. I even let Jackie have some amazing gas. It got me through it. And I just want to point out, right, because when I found out I was pregnant, sorry. Sorry. No, sorry. I wasn't pregnant. This isn't a news story that's coming out. I was not pregnant, right? However, that reminds me, through thinking about this, is you get some men, don't you, that say, "We're pregnant. We're pregnant. Meanwhile, we're pregnant." No, you're not. You're not a million miles away from being pregnant. Until you've had a melon shoved up your bottom and pooed it out, you do not know. You do not know what birth is like. What birth is like. So yeah. So sorry, I hope I've not put anybody else. I'll put anybody else having kids, but it's lovely. Lovely having kids, but because I think I like to think I'm my kid's hero. Do you think am I your hero?
Maybe.
Thank you for the spontaneous response there. But no, because I rescued you the other day. Remember the daddy long legs on the stairs. You couldn't go upstairs because the daddy long legs and clean your teeth. You're going to be late for school. So the daddy long legs. And so what I did is I got the glass. I didn't know what they usually do. I got a big spider, and I got the spider, and I took it. And I didn't want to kill it, so I threw it out and let the birds do it. So I let the birds do it. You have to learn. You have to let the birds do it. So when it came to the battle of the daddy long legs, there was Daddy Longlegs got beaten by Hannah.
Daddy Shortlegs.
Daddy Shortlegs. No, not Daddy Shortlegs. Thank you very much. I have to say, I am nearly average height. Right, I am nearly average height for my age. So, how rude! You're my kin. But actually, that reminds me, Jackie, because I remember remember we were on our first date, and when you've been on your first date, right, with your guy, you have to tell your friends all about it. You have to tell your friends all about it. And they were talking, and she was telling about me. Said, and I found out what she said about me. She said, "This is true, isn't it, Jackie?" She said, "Yeah." He said, "He's not very tall, but his personality makes him look bigger." How does that personality? He's bald, but his personality makes him look hairy. It's what? How do you? Where does this go? Where does this go? But anyway. But no, we're really glad. I mean, because we met on before going the first time. We met on a blind date, didn't we? We met on a blind date. And do you remember? So you won't remember this, Jackie. Sorry, Alex. You won't remember this. That one Saturday night, when Saturday night television used to be really good Saturday night television, when it was Gladiators, then Blind Date. Gladiators and Blind Date. Do you remember that, Jack? Gladiators and Blind Date. And what my dad used to do to make it a bit more exciting, he put a sheet over the telly so we couldn't see him either. It was brilliant. Until it caught on fire. It was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I think is it time for our first act, ladies and gentlemen? I think it is. Now, we'd like you to get into the spirit of this. So I do what I normally do when I'm comparing. And I usually start with someone on the left side of the audience. I ask them their name, what they do, but Jackie's a nurse and she's my wife, so there's no point in me asking that. So I go, Jackie, start with you. As I go across the room, everybody joins in. Finish with you, Hannah. Bring on the big crescendo, bring on the first act. So if you're sitting at home on your own, just do that as I go across, yeah? Or if there's two of you, kind of slap, carry on. Or if there's four of you, start and move it all the way across, right? Don't miss anybody else. Don't miss anybody. Somebody's sitting on the floor, squeeze them in. Just get on the couch, and then we'll go. Okay, are you ready? Jackie, go. Keep it going across, keep it going across, keep it going
Good evening, everybody at home. Good evening. Welcome to my shed. I'm just going to turn this off. There you go. That's the bit of showbiz for the... I got that down from the loft earlier. hardly worth bothering, was it really? But welcome, good evening. I'm just going to get my microphone. There you go. Just check that's on. Good evening and welcome to my shed. I'm Scott Bennett. Genuine pleasure to be here. This is it. This is the shed I've been reduced to performing in now. I always knew when I got this thing, by the way, that it would come into its own. And it took a global pandemic to make me realise that. I've been self-isolating in here long before it was trendy, let me tell you that. But I mean, I didn't call it that. I called it hiding from my responsibilities. But this used to be a proper job. I used to perform in theatres and comedy clubs, and now this is it. I've been reduced to screaming punchlines into a webcam for people at home who I can't even see. It's like a cross between Babe Station and B&Q, isn't it? I feel like someone in an Amsterdam window in the red light district, and to be honest, I'd be earning more money, wouldn't I? But welcome to my bit of the show. I hope you're all good. I hope you're coping. I know what you're doing. You're probably drinking, which is what we're all doing now, isn't it? I mean, it's 11 o'clock in the morning, do you know? I mean, it's not, it's the evening, but I'm just going to say I've got issues now. I was pretty much teetotal before this all happened. And when I go to the doctor's for my health check in a couple of months, he's going to say to me, how much alcohol do you consume, Mr. Bennett? And I'm going to have to say, Doctor, BC or AC, before Corona or after Corona, because those are two very different statistics, aren't they? I mean, before I barely drank. Now I'm putting away more units than a kitchen fitter. I think it's in my DNA now. Most people have a double helix. I've got a triple vodka. And, you know, I've got problems, ladies and gentlemen, but I know what it is. It's the boredom, isn't it? It's the relentless, meaningless boredom. The days just drag on and on. Like the other week, all I did on Tuesday was griddle some aubergines. That was my whole achievement for the day. Seriously, I needed the toilet, but I decided to hold it in just so I'd have something to look forward to on the Wednesday. You know, I can't wait for tomorrow, because that's the day I finally get to top up the bird feeders. I've set the alarm and everything. But it's just weird, isn't it? We're in this weird situation. We get the government briefings. They've done some lockdown relief last week in a very odd... I don't know if you cottoned on to that. They're allowing cleaners back into your homes. The golf courses are open. I can spot a pattern emerging here, can't you? What's going to be next? Skiing holidays given the green light? I mean, it just seems a very posh way of doing things, doesn't it? Well, a Waitrose golden hour for those with second homes. This way to the croissants and swans, sir. I mean, the other thing is the house viewings. You're allowed to view how... You can't see your family, but you can view how... It's going to be an expensive Christmas, isn't it? I'm going to have to buy every relative a house just so I can give them a present in person. That's good. Look at my dad going, I want this one. Well, he's got a swimming pool, Dad. Well, and they're worried. We're all worried about this second peak, and I am, because I've put so much weight on during the first one. I don't think my body can take it. I mean, I've already had a second peak. I don't know if you can see... I mean, you probably call them moobs. Do you know what I mean? But also, this talking to the webcam's become a common thing now. We're getting this Zoom fatigue, aren't you? You know, it's just an invasion of privacy. You've always got to be on guard. It's strange. Like, there's always that moment when you're waiting to go into a Zoom meeting and you realise just what you look like. You know, tired, big fat cheeks like the jowls of an ageing badger, and you just say, oh, God. They always say, we're joining with video. Can we just do audio? No, with video. I don't want to join with video. Can I join with someone else's face, please? Can I join with George Clooney? I'll do a Clooney. I'll join with a Clooney. And there's no good camera angle on Zoom, is there? You're angling it to... Honestly, I've seen more nostrils recently than a toddler's finger. And it's the quizzes, isn't it? You've probably got one right now. This evening you'll be doing these endless quizzes. Every night we're going to have a quiz. Oh, I don't want another quiz. Our children are going to end up uneducated. They've missed so much school, but luckily they've replaced that knowledge with pointless trivia, haven't they? Your kids might not be able to balance the books and fend for themselves in the future, but they will know the depth of Lake Tahoe to the nearest millimetre, won't they? And you can't leave these Zoom meetings, can you? Your kid's a dictatorship. I'm going. Where are you going? Oh, I'm just going to go and stand by this plant pot for a bit. And we're all under pressure, aren't we? We're all trying to do a million things. I mentioned the schooling. I'm homeschooling my children. And phonics, what are phonics? I think I saw them support the Chemical Brothers in the 90s. I think I got their first album. I've got 2 children. Olivia, she's 6 now. I mean, I say she's 6, she's 3 when we go swimming. I'm not an idiot, 4 on a bus, 5 on a train. I mean, she hasn't got a clue how old she is. I mean, every birthday is a genuine surprise for all of us. How old am I today, Daddy? He's so confused. Depends what we're doing, darling. Well, you said Alton Towers. Did I? Right. Well, getting that baby girl looks small. I'm not paying 25 quid for you to own the teacups, mate. What does Daddy say? Get on board with the fraud. There's a good girl. But she's a brilliant kid, she's been making stuff for me recently, which is great because I've not got enough kindling in the loft, have I? And she made me a card. It said, to my favourite Daddy, which is nice, but no way to break that sort of news. I've got enough on my plate at the moment, mate, without a DNA test. But she's a vegetarian. That's been interesting. That's a world our parents never had to contend with. If you have a kid's birthday party now, by the way, the dietary requirements are a nightmare, yeah? You have forms to fill in. Honestly, at her birthday last year, 2 vegetarians, a vegan, someone who was wheat intolerant, and a celiac. She said, Daddy, where can I have a party next year? I said, Holland and Barrett, mate. That's where you're going. We're out of options, Olivia. Because of you and your mates, with their principles, you're going to have to play pass the kale for 3 hours, Give out hemp party bags of St John's wort. It's going to be awful, mate. We've been keeping in touch with our relatives over the technology we've got now. And my mum and dad are at home. I don't know if you see them there. I'll show you this picture. There's my mum and dad. Here they are on the back wall there, as I like to think of them. The Unabomber and Colonel Gaddafi, ladies and gentlemen. That's the Roy and Margaret, they're called. Wonderful names, isn't it? Roy and Margaret. That's a very manly name, Roy, isn't it? People called Roy emerged from the womb, already able to grout a bathroom. And they've been social distancing for a while now. 10 years, really. My dad sleeps in the garage, my mum's in the house. But there is a strange sort of excitement my dad gets now, because he's been shopping online, he's discovered it, and he loves a bargain. And it's been the worst thing ever. Oh, he's spending so much money. He rang me the other day, right? And there was no asking how the kids were. He says, do you like Muller rice? I said, yes, Dad, why? Lidl, 3 for 2, thank you later. I mean, that's just like a low budget Groupon, isn't it? I don't need to know that information, my friend. This is a thing as well. Technology, it's been a complete inspirational to watch them. I've never seen anything like it, because before this pandemic they were useless, but now I've got my mum organising 3-way video conferencing sessions on Zoom. My dad's in the spare room with a headset on, streaming on Twitch. By the end of this pandemic, those two will be on TikTok. I guarantee it. But this is like only 6-7 months ago. My dad had an iPad, right? And he bought it so he could FaceTime the kids, but he never got the hang of it, because he used to ring us first, half an hour before, to ask if everyone was prepared for the FaceTime. It's not live, eh, Dad? Just have a go. And he could never use the camera, right? For 2 weeks, we were being FaceTimed by a fridge freezer. There was nothing there, right? And then all of a sudden, it's amazing, all of a sudden, accompanied by some heavy breathing, this eye would just come creeping in like, here's Grandad. How's that little granddaughter today? Absolutely terrified, Dad. What are you doing? It's not even 6:30 and we've just been FaceTimed by the hills of eyes, mate. She's never going to sleep again. And he never trusted technology. That was it. He was suspicious of it. He got a sat-nav. I was in the car with him. He switched it on, put in the postcode, and then didn't follow it. He drove against it just so it has to reroute and agree with him. I remember saying, Dad, she's trying to help you. She's just said to go left. No, she always gets it wrong, this woman. And then he said, just you watch. She'll change her mind in a minute. But I don't miss certain things now. I don't miss... Actually, I don't miss driving. I don't, because... I'll tell you something now. I drive a really boring car. It's not cool. It's the most popular model with pensioners, actually. I found that out in the dealership, because I said to the salesman, 7 years warranty, what happens after that? He says, I don't know, mate, no one's ever made it. It was a bit of a... They have to finish the paperwork by a Ouija board, I think. I opened the glove box, just Werther's originals came spilling out. But But my car's ruined as well because I have 2 kids, right? If you've got a nice car, don't have kids, right? Don't do it. I mean, if you do, make them sit in the roof box because they will destroy it, right? My car is feral. It's just dirty and evil. I'm not driving anymore. I'm just an Uber for yogurt raisins. You know, if you want to know where the coronavirus started, it's in my seat pockets. I'm convinced. My wife Gemma said to me, "Oh, get that colouring book out of it." No, I'm not going nowhere near that. I would rather run my finger up a marathon runner's butt crack than go in there. Honestly, there's more DNA and bacteria in here. If we took a swab, we could go in the house and grow ourselves another kid from scratch. It's disgusting. Because every surface is sticky. There's just, I don't know what they're doing back there. I don't even bother with seatbelts now. Because I just plonk them on the seat like Velcro. I could do 75 into a blind bend. It'd be rigid like that. Because it started off so strict. Only water in Daddy's new car. Within a week, a couple of snacks had crept in. I found a bit of what's it does stuff. Aye. They've been here. A bit of Haribo under the seat. By the end of the month, those 2 are in the back, turning chickens on a rotisserie. Get the marinade out of the glove box, Dad. Come on. And it's just, I suppose what it is, right, is I'm not very cool. That's the thing. Like, I'm not. I don't get the fashion now. Like my nephew's 19. He came home recently. He had them holes in his earlobes. Do you remember those? What, have you seen those things? What's that? It makes his face look like a camping ground sheet. People, I don't know whether to talk to him or peg him down. When was that agreed? When did that email go around? Because I can't even listen to him. I remember at Christmas I was chatting to him and all I was doing was just staring through his ears like that. And every time people moved in the background through those holes, looked like the opening titles to a James Bond film. At one point I saw my dad just glide in with a cheesecake like that. What time is it where you are? We're not on there now, Dad. We're not on the FaceTime. It's his ears. Will you just calm down, my friend? And it is a thing. Like I'm frustrated with certain experiences. Like I was meant to go to a festival this summer, and that's been cancelled. And but I'm quite relieved in a way because I think I'm too old for them. The last one we went to was awful. I mean, we were walking through the field, right? There's young people ahead of me with the cans and the spliffs, and I want to be with them, but I can't be with them, can I? Because I'm holding a cool box and some fold-up chairs. You go brings a cool box to a festival. That's not a cool box. That's a dream coffin, isn't it? That's what that is. I've got my own kids behind me in the Peppa Pig wellies, heads weighed down by the massive ear defenders they're wearing. It was like being followed by a couple of drunk reindeer. Just, come on. My wife Gemma, she's in front going, keep going. It's too loud here. It's too loud. We need to find a spot with absolutely no atmosphere. Behind the falafel van, next to the generator. That's us. Near the portaloos. We will be miserable there for 3 days. And my God, we were. We were sat there around a tartan blanket with a load of other broken 40-year-olds, eating cucumber and dip, talking about school catchment areas and the natural light in Wendy's extension. I don't care how many Velux you've got, Wendy. It's still boring. And there's always someone in the group that won't admit they're 40. My mate Steve, he had a straw hat on. And glitter on. Get that off, mate. You're 42, Steve. You work in accounts. What's wrong with you? You can't add sparkle to a saggy eye bag, mate. Honestly, he looked like a bejazzled scrotum just hanging off his face, like dancing around like that. And this dealer walked past. He said to us, because Steve, right, he had like a hip flask. He got that out. He was excited about that. He got this hip flask out and he went, ooh, guess what's in here, Scott? And honestly, my first thought was, I hope to Christ it's Gaviscon. Because the vinaigrette on that chickpea salad was far too rich for me. Honestly, like I said, there's dealers everywhere, isn't there? He walked past us. He said, does anyone want any acid? I was like, I've got loads, mate. A bit of reflux. I'll take a Rennie. Have you got a Rennie in that bag? I'll just have half, because I've got the kids, you know. But I'll tell you this before I go. It's been okay. It's been okay. Like I said, I've got 2 children. My youngest one, Sophia. She was born quickly. She came out like she was in the luge, that kid. Honestly, there was a noise like that. It was like a pygmy firing a blow dart. If it hadn't been for the umbilical cord, we'd have never found her again, right? The whole birth was done in 32 minutes, which is unbelievable, isn't it? I got outside. The first person I rang was my dad. I said, Dad, I've got some news. He said, so have I. Yakult, 2 for 1 Asda. I was like, no, not now. No, right? Have a day off, mate. Come on. I said, it's a baby girl, Dad. She's wonderful. I said, the whole birth was done in 32 minutes. And he paused. I thought, he's getting emotional. He went, 32 minutes? That's amazing. I bet you didn't even need to pay for the parking. Unbelievable. You've got to get the engine running, done laps, passed her in through the window. Chopped off the cord with the electric ones. Oh, shut up, Roy. Shut up. But I just want to say to you, as a parting message, really, I've had a drink. I'm struggling. Thank you so much for watching, and do keep supporting live comedy, because I miss my job. Something wrong. I do. I miss everything about it. I miss the hen nights even. I miss the stag nights. I miss the people on their phones. Honestly, I once drove 4 hours in torrential rain to somewhere in the, I don't know, the depths of Wales, right, to perform for 2 people and a dog for no money at Bobby Wingnut's Cackle Dungeon. And I miss that gig right now. I do. And I just want to say, like, it does feel strange doing it in here, but this tomb will have to do for now, this chipboard tomb, until we get out of here, until we can all come and see each other again live. And I can't wait for that day. Keep supporting live comedy. Do check me out on social media, scottbennettcomedy.co.uk, performing shows in here every Thursday. Have a wonderful evening. Stay safe, stay drinking, and I'll see you again. Thank you so much. Good night. Bye-bye.
Mr. Scott Bennett, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together one more time. And do go on YouTube and watch his Scott Bennett from his shed. Is absolutely brilliant. I'm really been enjoying it. So do tune in and subscribe to his channel. He's absolutely amazing. And what a great night so far, eh?
Yeah.
You enjoying it? Enjoying it?
Yeah.
Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, well, there is one of the main reasons that we're doing tonight is obviously a lot of the comedians aren't working at the moment. And so they've got no income coming in. So you can donate to the night. We've recommended a £5, but you can give as little or as much as you like. And the money is split 4 ways. It goes to each of the 3 comedians and to a charity. Nothing comes to Kingdom Comedy because, of course, we're key workers. We're working. It's okay. We just want to bless the comedians. So if you can, as little or as much as you like. And thank you very much to everybody last week who donated. It was really much appreciated, and the comedians really appreciated it as well. So here we are now. Obviously, as you know, the audience is my family, and it's that part of the show where I like to have a little bit of a chat. Because normally when I'm comparing, I like to have a chat with the audience. But of course, obviously, they are my family. So they've kind of had to come up with professions for me to kind of work with. Recording it live. Okay, are you ready? So what a lovely audience we've got this evening, of course. You've been there. So what's your name? What's your name? Oh no, Jackie. Oh yeah, we didn't give you a name, did we? Sorry. So what's your name?
Lucy.
Hello, Lucy. Lucy. And so have you had to come far, Lucy?
No.
No. Where did you come from?
From the house.
From the house. Thank you. Yeah, just up there. Thank you, Lucy. You just come all the way from the house. And what do you do for a living, Lucy?
I'm a ballerina.
You're a ballerina. Oh, a ballerina. That's interesting. Did you have to study hard to become a ballerina?
No.
No. Well, I've heard to become a ballerina, you've got to go and you've got to study really hard. Because I knew a girl and I said to her, I said, you studied as a ballerina when you finished? 2-1? She goes, no, 2-2. 2-2. Well, I mean, I just tried to keep her on her toes. You know what I mean? Well, you quite like that, didn't you? Quite like, you see, it's for the kids. It's for the kids. Boo! Alex wasn't so keen. Alex wasn't so keen because ballerinas are. So it's lovely to have you with us. What was your name again? Sorry.
Lucy.
Lucy, lovely to have us, ballerina, and you have a safe journey home, walking down the steps back to the house. Okay, they're a little bit wobbly at the moment. Okay, and so who else have we got in the audience this evening? Who got? Oh yeah, hello. And what's your name?
Abigail.
Hi, Abigail. And what do you do for a living?
I don't do anything. I just go to school.
Oh, you go to school. Well, of course. Oh, yeah. Well, of course you do. Did you not? You haven't? No, absolutely not. So, what's your favourite subject?
Maths.
Maths. Oh, I tell you what, must be say. You're not doing sports day this year.
Well, I'm in secondary school, so I don't know. I'm not going to do it anyway.
Oh, never mind. Well, it's lovely to have you with us. And you see, because sometimes I can't always come up with anything funny. I can't. I go down a cul-de-sac and I get no. It's actually funnier me saying I can find nothing funny than what I've actually said so far. So we got. Thank you very much. And how about you, sir? What do you do for a living?
No, I'm a student.
Your student. Hang on. Wasn't somebody supposed to be a dentist?
Oh.
Who was supposed to be a dentist?
It was Abigail.
Abby, you're supposed to be a dentist. You confuse me. So, do you know?
You
What?
could just do your dentist material.
I could just do the. Well, it's not really that good, really. It was just a bit of a filling. Hey, a filling. I mean, do you know? And I got to tell this one. What's the best time to go to the dentist?
2:30.
No, when you've got toothache. Hey. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a little bit before we. Are you ready for your next act?
Yeah!
Very enthusiastic, they really are. Ladies and gentlemen, the next act we've got this evening is one of my favourite acts on the circuit. He's a very, very, very good friend of mine and a great supporter of Kingdom Comedy. And this time we're going to start the clapping. We're going to. Sorry, what was your name again?
Lucy.
Lucy, we're going to start the clapping with Lucy, who's a ballerina, okay? And we're going to go all the way across, past the, could have been a dentist, to Jackie. Okay, you ready? Right, off you, okay, big crescendo. Are you at home, remember? It's the same thing, but the opposite way. If you're on your own, that way, right, okay? Or if there's two of you, you're going across and hand it across. Or if there's four of you, all the way along, okay? The more you get into it, the more you enjoy it. It's going to be brilliant. Okay, ready? Off you go! Keep it going, 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 keep it going. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your next act for this evening, Mr. Tony Vino!
Hello, it's great to be here. Thank you for tuning in. I'm very excited about this because, I've been just cooped away in my house with my wife and children for a long time now, and this is the first time I've had opportunity to speak without being interrupted for months. So please stay in and do enjoy the next 4 hours of monologue. I do hope you're having a good Corona time and lockdown. It's difficult. As a comedian, I was advised best thing to do, because there's no live entertainments now. You've got to. Some people are saying you've got to learn how to do things online, become an expert with the online. So I took up gambling. That went well. My wife was worried that I might become addicted, and I said, I bet you £20. She won that one, but that's okay. But I don't have any work at the moment. There's no actual work. All live gigs are shut down for probably the foreseeable. So I've actually been looking for alternative income. I applied for a job at Timpson's because I wanted to become a key worker. Hello. But I also wanted to get a job. I did get a job temporarily at Asda. As the welcome guy at Asda, on the door. But that didn't last long. They didn't seem to take to Free Hugs Thursday. So I'm not doing that anymore. But I'm just writing, keeping myself busy. I've been given money by the government. That's excellent. So as a self-employed person, they gave me 80% of my declared taxable profit, which I think is wonderfully generous, because I've only ever given them 20% of my undeclared tax. Anyway, we'll leave that. I applied for a grant from the council. He came round. He was like, "Hello, I'm Grant." Lovely guy. He wanted to bring his friend Bill. I wasn't interested. So we're just staying on top of things as a family. We're now homeschooling as well. Basically, my wife has given me two beautiful children and one ugly one. But he's allowed to stay as well. And so we do homeschooling. My school is my home is an actual school now. My wife is the head teacher and all the other teachers, and I'm the janitor, just there in case someone blocks the toilet, essentially. We've had an Ofsted inspection as well, and we were found outstanding in our garden, and we wanted to go on the trampoline. So that was lovely. I'm trying to learn the different things, like here's some hypnotism. I'll try this now. What you need to do, I want you to stare into the centre of this, okay? Stare into the centre. I'm going to count to 10. Stare at the centre. Don't look away. And after 10 seconds, look at your hand, okay? Here we go. Count out 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now look at your own hand. Look at that. Look at that. Did you see it change size and go a bit weird? Did you see? If you didn't, apparently it only works with people with IQ of 80 and above. But don't worry about that. That's okay. You don't need to worry about that. I'm just giving you ideas here. But if that did work, then you're now under my hypnotic spell. And how do we? Oh, you want to go on the internet, Amazon, buy the Tony Vino DVD, $9.99. Tony Vino DVD, $9.99. $9.99. Even though you don't have a DVD player, nobody plays it. Put it on your. Just buy it for someone you don't like. Yes. No. So it's good. I'm doing other things to keep myself busy. What am I doing? I've got I've homebrew. I've started creating my own homebrew. Look, this is a limited edition 2020 Tony Vino gin. Now, it's not slow gin. This is I make what's called very fast gin, using ingredients and instructions from the internet, a lot of love, and just a hint of desperation. So, I'm taking up 100. Now, the thing is, you can never get drunk on my gin because I don't know if you know, right? By the way, I drink out of flowery china cups when I'm drinking alcohol. I'm not an animal. Come on now. You think I'm losing it? Okay, so basically what I do, right, when I'm with my gin, okay, it's essentially. Now, did you know the word gin comes from a genie, which means it's kind of like a special kind of magical elixir that meant to never sort of quench your thirst. Like, I mean, literally, watching this. So anyway, if you want to order that along with Tony Vino DVD, feel free. So it's all. I mean, what's going on? I mean, this virus it's a strange one, isn't it? The whole corona. I mean, I've worked on cruise ships, and that was when that one got docked in Yokohama, and a third of the passengers got corona, and it all just sort of things escalated from there. And I've worked a lot on cruise ships, and they are a breeding ground for viruses. I once myself caught a virus. I don't know if you remember norovirus. Caught that 4 years ago on a cruise ship. Similar situation. That basically, I don't know if you've had norovirus, but it's horrible. It comes out of both ends. It's honestly, it's that bad you can't even trust a fart. Honestly, I thought I was yawning. I was like, oh no. I was horrified. As were the people in the jacuzzi. That was a mistake. But it is. It's. I think the thing with the because obviously you can't touch things, and the corona stays on things, and that's why. I mean, I work a lot on the cruise ship. I don't think I'm going to be back on them for years because it's all buffets. Everything's buffets, and that's why the British love a cruise ship because it's all you can eat, and British people think, oh, lovely, 7 square meals a day. That'll just about do because we love a bargain. Other nations see it as a privilege to eat. We Brits see it as a challenge. Honestly, when I go on a cruise ship, these open buffets, I know who are the British people because you look along the queue and they're the ones stretching before meals like that going, I am going to bankrupt this company. Well, you don't need to anymore. They already are. So now, if things open up this summer, we're not going abroad. Like I'm going to do a British holiday. Like about 2 years ago, I had a wonderful British. I went to Centre Parks, with the one in Sherwood Forest, and obviously Sherwood Forest, which is famous for Robin Hood. That's right, who stole from the rich, gave to the poor. Now it's famous for Centre Parks, and they steal from everyone. So we'll probably go there. Might do a short hop, a European holiday. Maybe Amsterdam's a good one. Try Amsterdam as a family. It's a great family holiday. The kids sleep great. Daddy, can I have more cake? Not a problem. Right, 3 o'clock, bedtime. Good night. Just give that a go. And just be careful. Stay alert. All that kind of stuff because we don't have a vaccine yet. I mean, I thought I'd got corona, and I had a fever, and I had the test the swab test. I don't recommend it as a night out. And then it came back negative, which I was very, very sad about. Although I have tested positive for hypochondria, which is a bonus. But there's no one in all my family are safe, thankfully. My uncle Alec did get COVID-19 and actually ended up in hospital because he had trouble breathing. He's better now. He's totally recovered. My auntie was really worried, and in fact the doctor assured her, said, "Don't you worry. By the end of the week, he'll be fully recovered. He'll be able to play the trombone and everything." And she was delighted. He'd never been able to play a musical instrument in his life, and so that's a little miracle. And we're just basically doing the whole go out for exercise once a day with a kid. My little girl has these trainers with wheels in the bottom called wheelie, and that's kind of good exercise. She just stands there, and I push her. And then she just goes off, and it's basically a game of dodge the cars. So that's all fine. You know, we're kind of, it's been an interesting one because it's my little boy. It's meant to be. This is essentially his first year of school. Oh, I know. He's 15. He's a little bit lazy, so it's already been interrupted. He's doing fine, and birthdays are weird. My little girl, she's 7. And she had a 7th birthday under lockdown, so we didn't actually have any friends come over, or family. So we got her a really nice birthday. We got her a guinea pig for her birthday, and we had to say to her, "Look, this is your pig, Milo. This is your pig. He's going to be with us for a few years, okay?" And because he apparently teaches, getting a child a pet, it's very important to teach children about life and death, connection, separation. So this is your pet, and he's going to be with us. Apparently live about 4 or 5 years. He's going to be with us for several years. One day he will leave us. He will die, but don't worry. On that day we will bury him. We'll say a prayer. Then we'll have some cake and sweets. And she went, "Can we kill it now?" Which was slightly worrying. What else we had? My wife is doing okay. We go through different states. She likes to play a little game every morning. Guess what mood I'm in? A good one? No. That's an interesting one. We trying to keep our relationship, exciting. We like to do role play. She pretends she's a pub landlord. I pretend I'm on a night out. That's great. That's basically it. Communication's very good as well. Very good, because she says that because she's a trained psychologist. My wife, she knows the things. So apparently, my issue is that I don't. I avoid conflict, and obviously I don't argue with her about it, but so I'm trying to get better at that kind of communication. There's a thing called person-centered communication where if you're having an argument, you repeat back what the other person said so that they know that you've heard them. So she'll put her point across and I'll say it, and what I heard was and that really helps. But it's about staying emotionally grounded, apparently, right? And so she's been teaching me a thing called mindfulness. Okay, mindfulness. So she's like this: for date night, Tony, what we're going to do is some mindfulness. I say, okay, what does that involve? She says, what we've got to do, we've got to sit together for half an hour in silence. And I'm like, so that's different. How? Apparently no TV. That's the only difference with that one. But we're doing fine. It's 12 years married, and so it's you get to know each other quite well, and so she's doing like because you go 12 years, that's a long time, isn't it? All those statistics, you're like, you're scared of them. You go half all marriages they last forever, and you're like, that's a long time as well, isn't it? But apparently your love life is meant to go down once you've had kids by 67%, which I think is a gross underestimation. But we don't worry about that. We're doing fine as a family. We're speaking to our other family members, lots of friends, meetups with Zoom. Zoom's great as well because it's better than meeting with people normally, because essentially you can speak to them, they can speak to you, you can see them, they can see you, but they're completely aware you don't have any trousers on. That's always a bonus, I say, And the main thing is to stay positive, stay alert, learn magic. Look at it. Do you want to okay, here you go. Pick a card. Ordinary deck of cards, yes. No, it's not. Don't worry about that. But then that's gonna work. You can get like this is my hook. Leave that. Don't worry about that. Tell you what. What you want to do? Okay, what you want to do is do daredevil stuff. You know, like, okay. So follow me, right? You're now under my hypnotic trance. Okay, right. We're going to do a little trick. Okay, tongue out. Okay, tongue out. And you've got to do exactly what you just need a fork, okay? Just grab a fork, okay? Okay. Tongue out. Follow me on this, okay? You've got to stand up for this, okay? Okay, spin around. I need music really. Keep your tongue out. It's okay, don't really worry about that, fella. I've a lot of time to myself, people, but essentially what I want to say is, you know, we will get through this. We'll have a good time, and then your dreams will come true. You know, this is a time to dream. It's a time to be at home and just think and you know, think about your life. And because particularly young people, you know, when I was a kid, I used to think I could do anything or be anything. I wanted to get a job in PR. That was interesting, and then I found out it stands for public relations, not Power Rangers. But you know, that's when my dreams came smashed. But what I want to do is to end and just say, go for it. Whatever you want to do in life, dream. And as we come out of this crisis, this pandemic, may your dreams fly into the air, and particularly for the young people. So I'm going to do this as a sort of metaphor for the young people. We're going to blow up the biggest balloon in this room currently, and we're going to sort of blow that up as an example of dreams. And may your dreams fly, and then it's going to burst. Okay, it's going to burst, and then just like dreams, when you grow older and you end up being stuck inside for 2 months when you're meant to be on a cruise ship to Malaga. So I thought, but if you want to be whatever you want, but young people, this for you. You can be dream. You want to be a Power Ranger. You can be a Power Ranger or a Marvel Avenger. Whatever you want to do with your life, you can do it, because this virus is not going to hold you down. So we're going to. I'll get a bit of music on, okay? And we'll get it going. Hey, let's do this. Here we go. The last thing I'm going to do. Let's do this. A little bit of music there for you people, and then I'll switch this on. I'm going to blow the balloon up. Yes. Here we go, people. Don't you worry about this. Don't try this at home. Try this. Go to someone else's house. Try it there, and let them clear up. Okay, people. You can just do the size of this balloon. It's so big. Look at that. Look at that. Your dreams are growing. See, to you. Watch Mary Poppins. That'll explain everything. Learn about homebrew gin. That will also explain a lot of these people. Here we go. Shall we do this? Okay. Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. And if you want to be a Power Ranger, just keep your secret identity under wraps, people. I've been Tony Vino. God bless you. Good night. Thank you.
Oh, fantastic! Mr. Tony, one more time. Give it up to Tony Vino. Wasn't he great? I thank you so much, Tony, for being part of the night. And I must admit, you're being a great audience as well. Very enthusiastic. So, you enjoying the night, Ballerina?
Yes.
Thank you, paid attention. And so, no, you enjoying the evening? It's really great to have you. And Alex, you enjoyed it tonight? Really good fun. Could be. I hope it's not your last one. I hope it isn't. But ladies and gentlemen, just remember that the reason we're doing it tonight is because the comedians aren't working at the moment, and we thought we'd put on this night. And you can donate to the night because they've got no income coming in. And as I said, it's going to be split 4 ways between the 3 comedians and between a charity. Kingdom Comedy are not taking anything from this. So do give as much or as little as you can, and that'll be great. You know what? It's been such. I'm so excited. Are you ready for your final act?
Yeah!
I know you're ready for your final act.
Yeah!
Okay, thank you, Hannah. Thank you. Okay, now, because it's what's interesting when your kids it's interesting about heckling, right? Because you can get heckles when you're on stage, and my kids heckle me all the time, right? When I'm not on stage, they're like, you put on weight. Oh, this I knew that. Now, you can't handle your kids heckling in the same way because I can say to my kids, right? I said, "You behave yourself, or I'll take your phone off you." If I said that to somebody in the audience, that'd be classed as mugging. So it's very, very difficult to do that. Okay, here we go. So what we're going to do, we're going to start with you, Alex, in the middle because we're going to do that. So if you're on your own sitting in your house, this time it's like this. Right? Why is that my favourite? Why is that my favourite? And then, okay, if you're in the middle, what you're doing is you've got to coordinate this. If there's two of you, what I would do, slap each other's hands like that, and then bring it out. Okay, if there's four of you, the two start in the middle and spread it out as I go like that. And big crescendo, bring on the first act. Are you ready? Okay, yeah. Alex, could be the last time, go for it. That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on to stage, Mr. Noel James.
Hello, good evening. It's great to be here, even though my hands seem to be 10 times bigger than they should be. But you know, all things considered, I'm doing very well, thank you, and I hope you're doing very well. It's really weird to be doing a gig to a computer. But I know there's a live audience out there, and just remember to keep laughing, right? Because this is not television, okay? I mean, Catherine Jenkins, the singer, recently did a gig in the Albert Hall, and there was no audience there. And that was well before the COVID virus even started. So, you know, if she can do it, you know, let's hear it for the NHS, of course. I couldn't go out clapping last week because it was a storm, but luckily, the thunder clapped at around 8 p.m, which was good. And here in Wales, where I am, there's still a lockdown, strict, and yet everybody on the weekend they come and gather in the parks and in the mountains, which is putting a terrible strain on the National Trust. But mentally, of course, it's quite tough living alone. In social isolation. I've had a few problems. I had to split up with my girlfriend. She was actually helping me a lot because she was a crafts teacher, and we had to split up. But you know, we'll always have plaster of Paris. That was a joke, by the way. In fact, everything I'm doing is jokes. If you haven't noticed that by now, you better tune into the other channel. If you'd like to see my clip on YouTube to show you for sure that I am a comedian, I can show you my clip on YouTube right now. Here's my clip on YouTube. I've got it here. You cannot get any comedy work without one of these. I made this one myself. This is my clip on YouTube. Yeah, well, I say I made it myself. Mr. Jones, the ironmonger, helped me. Mr. Jones, he'll do anything for me. I went to see him the other day. I said, Mr. Jones, obviously I was keeping 2 meters apart. I said, will you copy my key for me? Because he's a key worker, so he's remaining open. I said, will you copy my key? He said, not a problem, he said, Mr. James. How's this? Is that a good copy? What an idiot. Trump, talking about idiots. Now, Trump has just declared that he's got diplomatic immunity against the virus, and he recently advised people maybe to inject disinfectant, which I did try and do, but I was done for domestos abuse. So yeah, I've been trying to keep myself mentally healthy, doing a lot of meditation. And when you do meditation, you need a mantra. And so I was chanting this mantra to myself: murder my mother, murder my mother, murder my mother, murder my mother. Well, I say meditation, it was more like pre-meditation. Of course, my mother was a Swede, my father was a parsnip, and I noticed in Sweden they've opened the schools. Well, the schools have, I think, remained open all the time. This is really in order to help Greta Thunberg keep her protest up of not going to school. And of course, it's difficult not being able to go to the shops and buy certain things, essential things like fireworks. Well, I mean, it's nice to celebrate the NHS. I thought we have some fireworks in the garden, but we couldn't get any. So I got some bubble wrap, and I got my girlfriend to stand in the hall and just walk across the bubble wrap, and I just sat in the living room. So that's my speech impediment. It's actually a peach impediment. I've got a lot of problems that way. I've got OCD, but I call it CDO because it's neater, And I went to see a counsellor the other day. But of course, well, I say that I rang up the local services. I said, "Can I see a counsellor?" And I spoke to one on the phone, and it turned out he was a town councillor, and he said I was suffering from compulsory purchase disorder. I said, "No, I think this is the wrong type of counsellor. I want to see a mental counsellor." He said, "Well, you sure you don't want planning permission?" I said, "No, I've got depression." Well, he said, "Well, I can't build anything on a depression." How was you drinking? I said, "I am drinking a lot, because my father was an alcoholic. That's why we called him Pop." And he said, "You should go and see the AA." And just then, a very nice man in a yellow van pulled up. He said, "I'm from the AA." And I said, "This is ridiculous, You're getting everything mixed up." And he advised me to get some CBT. I said, "Cognitive behavioral therapy." He said, "No, compulsive basic training on your bike." Now, it's difficult, though, being socially isolated. It's like living inside your head, which wouldn't be so bad if I wasn't so narrow-minded. But at least some of the shops are opening up now, locally. I went to the original factory shop the other day, and I bought a spinning jenny and a loom. What else? Oh, God, yes. The clapping for the NHS and the minute silence we had VE Day, and on VE Day, people were celebrating, victory in Europe, and I thought that was good, and I felt happy about the victory in Europe, but I had still kept this nagging little worry at the back of my mind about the situation in the Pacific, But I must be getting better as a comedian, because I did one of these podcast things the other day, a conference call, comedy gig, and I got a minute's silence from the audience, which I thought, well, that's a mark of respect, because jokes are not always easy to understand, You got a setup, you got a punchline, and remember, if you want a good sheepdog, I forgot the punchline. Forgot the punchline for that one. That'll come back in later. Been getting a lot of these nuisance PPE annoying phone calls of late, and also these flyers coming through the door. When I say flyers, they're actually pieces of paper, not just people flying in or anything. Although, as I was saying, on VE Day, to celebrate, I got my red darts. I got these darts, I painted them red, and I threw them at the dartboard in display formation. Yeah, I've been getting these pieces of paper through the letterbox asking if I need to get my cesspit or septic tank emptied. I mean, do they really think I'm that affluent? I don't like getting circulars through the door. I should put a notice up on my door saying no circulars, because the last house I lived in has now got the A406, that is the North Circular, running right through it. I didn't put a warning up, you see. So walking in the countryside every day, I get some exercise. Well, I walk down by the river, very narrow path though, and you want to keep 2 meters apart. So I tend to walk with a sort of broom in front of me, one there and one at the back, like a Dalek, an eccentric Dalek. But there were 2 people coming towards me on this narrow path, and I could see they weren't going to go into single file. It's really annoying. They were walking abreast, and that was really eccentric. I mean, why couldn't they walk a dog like anybody else? And I almost stepped on it, So my name's Noel James. If you haven't gathered, I am from Swansea Valley. I was actually born in the base of a valley. That's why my head is slightly triangular. And I went to see a film recently, well, before the virus, The Joker. Brilliant performance by Joaquin Phoenix. Sorry, Joaquin. Well, he was there. He was doing a question and answer session after the film. And I went up to him. I said, "You must be Joaquin." And he said, "No, it's Joaquin. It's Joaquin, not Joaquin. Joaquin Phoenix." I said, "Yeah, but you were in The Joker." Sorry, I said, "You were in The Joker, weren't you?" "No," he said, "It's Joker." I said, "You're joking." Anyway, as a tribute to The Joker, I started doing an impression of what must be one of the best supervillains around. I got one of these. This is how Joaquin did it himself. Sorry, Joaquin. He stuck this in his mouth to get the effect of the Joker. That was a protracted joke, wasn't it? You getting the angle though? You getting the angle of it? It's not easy, is it? I've got some music for you. Thought I'd do a bit of music, you know. It's nice to be a mother's boy. It's nice to be a mother. It's nice to be a mother's boy. It's nice to be a son. I wish I could think of a punchline, but I can't. That's called improvising, that is. Not easy, is it, you know? But do you like my room? I've got some new material there. That's from Marks and Spencer's, that jacket. When this COVID virus is over, I'm going to take it back and swap it for a sandwich. Well, food. What can you do? I've been eating loads during this lockdown. But my girlfriend, you know, she knows that the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. And I'll tell you what, she's given me a lard-on. Yeah, giving me a lard-on. Dear me. What else? I went to see, I was walking, I saw a skinhead, actually, and he was coming right up close to me, which was disturbing, you know. And he said, "You and me now inside." He was an agoraphobic skinhead. And he punched me in the face for no reason. And he punched me in the stomach, and I don't know what I did to provoke him. And do you know what he did then? He grabbed the dress I was wearing, and he yanked it. And, you know, it was really annoying, because I love that dress, and the threads were hanging, and he charged me with causing a fray. Which, didn't work out. Didn't work out. No, it didn't work. I'll do another song for you. No, I've got a good song for you, right? Dum dooby doo up dum dum dee and fa dooby doo up dum dee and bum dooby doo up dum. Learning Welsh is hard to do. Don't take England away from me. Don't change the laws of the gravity. 'Cause I can't speak like the natives do. Learning Welsh, it's hard to do. I get some forms in my letterbox. Bilingual, what a paradox. I thought sorry was the hardest word, but not compared to Welsh. I've heard they say that learning Welsh is hard to do. Now I know that it's true, since I bought a house in Llanfair Pwll. That's nothing, I can say the famous railway station, Cardiff Central. And now I live in the back country, and so to boost the economy, why use forwards when I can use to? I said, learning Welsh, it's hard to do. Dum dooby doo up dum, dum dee and fa dooby doo up dum. I live in the car, dooby doo up dum, dum dee and Fa doobie doo up dum dum dee. Just the boys. Dum doobie doo up dum dum doo. Okay, just the girls. Dum doobie doo up dum dum dee. Okay. And now a theme from an imaginary spaghetti western. I've been in a lot of spaghetti recently. Well, I don't really care if you thought I was funny or not, because I got paid already. Duncan, he's given me the check. You can see by the check, he's been in and out the bank already 5 times. It keeps bouncing. What can you do with a check that bounces? Well, you can make something funny out of it. Innit? You know what I mean? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I do hope you've enjoyed this sojourn into my living room, or should I say half-dying room. And remember, the good sheepdog is hard to come by. Come by. Come by. All the best. Stay safe, everybody. And yeah, thanks, Duncan.
Noel James, one more shout to Mr. Noel James. Absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much. He's been so enthusiastic about doing tonight. It's been absolutely great. And you've had, and I've had a really great. Have you enjoyed yourselves tonight?
Yeah!
I mean, these are all headline quality acts, and they've all donated their time to do this, and we're really, really pleased. So please, if you can, donate to the evening. It will be split between the comedians and the charity, and it won't be split to us. And they'll be really much appreciated. And it's really sad that this is the end of the show for now. But next week, ladies and gentlemen, we've got something really special. We have the act that came third in Britain's Got Talent a couple of years ago, who had a sell-out UK tour. We've got, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Deliso Shaponda and we've also got another 2 headline quality acts at the same time as well. So that is not a night to miss. Please, if you can, subscribe to us. That would be great. If you can go onto our Facebook and give us a like, that would be fantastic. And if you want to know more about what Kingdom Comedy do, please go on www.kingdomcomedy.co.uk. So I've just got one more job to do now, ladies and gentlemen, and that is to thank all the acts. But before I do that, thank you for tuning in. Please spread the word. We just love doing it, and we love bringing joy and laughter out there. And so please do spread the word. So thank you to you. But now let's thank our act. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for your first act, Mr. Scott Bennett, ladies and gentlemen. Scott Bennett. Also Mr. Tony Vino, ladies and gentlemen. And also Mr. Noel James, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Duncan Logan. Keep yourself safe. Good night. God bless.